First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Over! Watch it now, Barney!
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Harris. Trucks over him. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
This is Harris. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Harris. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Back to throw here. Going for the deep ball. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Detroit! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side complete. That's Rhodes. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Let's go, fellas. 4 down. Let's go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Rhodes. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good pickup there, 22.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal.
Leopard.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with Harris. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. An update now from Oakland. And a 2-touchdown lead for the Buccaneers as they've just scored again. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Lions. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10.
Set! Green, 30.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Over!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They run with Harris. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That's fielded in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side complete. It's Rhodes. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And under the Lions. Brought down. Tack McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bailey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down.
And his throw is incomplete. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be to try something.
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Mike's 50.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far.
Right,
this is 3rd and 8.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Over!
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Good. Comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Over. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to drop him for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Watch you now, Barney.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Detroit!
Now Harris. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run again with Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Harris. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And
you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive or no? You just throw that out the window.
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run with Harris. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He'll drop the throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So here come the Lions now. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Look good, though. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. Oh, shifty! Whoa! And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee And they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, here we go.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Throwing right, and that's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And his throw here's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Lions on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 319.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Over! Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Vikings, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.